cannot hear me, just let me know. You can turn off the fan or you can turn on the. I don't know if they are working or not. पोडियम से ही बोले तो मेरा कैमरा इधर हाँ तो यही मुझे यही रुकना पड़ेगा ना हाँ ओके वेयर इज दैट स्पीकर दिस वन नहीं यही काम करेगा ओके ठीक है I have to wait here for two hours okay no worries that's fine can you turn on the ACs please because if because of that fans last benches they cannot hear me properly can you hear me guys okay no worries okay. AC नहीं काम कर रहा है and can you do one more thing can you move this stand so that it is coming into this one you can just keep that side little bit if possible yeah that's fine okay Venkat close the door as well we don't want any disturbance close it properly okay guys it's 4:30 good afternoon everybody welcome to this GAN course Global Initiative Academic Network on next generation supply chain harnessing IoT digital twins and AI driven simulation I am Dr. Danny Mogale I am a associate professor at Cardiff Business School Cardiff University and this is my academic and professional journey my background is production engineering I did my production engineering BTech in 2012 then followed by that I did master in industrial engineering and management from NIT Trichy Tamil Nadu then during my master I found some interest in logistics and supply chain management and that's why then I went to IIT Kharagpur my PhD and I did my PhD on Indian food grain supply chain problems, FCI, Food Corporation of India, some problems. We looked at the farmer side, how we can increase the farmers' profit, income, and then we mainly focused on the basically the facility location allocation problem. So if you want to move the food grain, wheat and rice in the bulk form, not in the gunny bags, jute bags, okay. So now Adani, they have developed some silo like Punjab, Haryana. These are the surplus states for the wheat and rice. So they developed, set up some cylindrical, the structures where they keep the food grain, wheat and rice in bulk form, not in the gunny bags, so that we can avoid the losses, food storage and losses, and we don't need the laborers to load and unload those the gunny bags. So we looked at the that facility location allocation problem. Then I looked at the procurement side problem as well. How to give the the maximum benefits to the farmers, minimum support price, and all those things. Then route optimization, because some states are surplus states. They produce huge amount of food grains, wheat and rice. For example, Punjab, Haryana, they are surplus states for the your wheat and rice. So what Indian government does, they take the food grain, wheat and rice from these farmers from these states, and then they deliver to the deficit states. The deficit states means the states which cannot make huge amount of wheat and rice to satisfy their own demand. Okay, so we looked at that surplus and deficit states, and we tried to provide the decision support system to optimize this logistics cost, the facility location cost, then the maximization of farmers benefits, and all those things. That's a little bit about my PhD. Then followed by that PhD, I went for postdoc in supply chain management at Cranfield University, Cranfield School of Management. This is again very good university. I would say top university in the UK. For your masters, they have only masters program. They don't have any undergraduate program. And then after my postdoc, I joined as an assistant professor in Cardiff Business School in logistics and operations management section. And then recently I got promoted to the associate professor in logistics and operations management as well. So that's a little bit about my academic and professional journey. We will be working together for next 10 days. Okay, so I would like to hear from you. What's your name, your specialization, and where are you from? Okay, so that I can call you sometimes by your name. So let's start with the first one. Yeah, your name, basically your specialization, master, BTech, whatever it may be, and where are you from? Yeah, first row. Yeah, loud guys, I don't hear yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay, good, thank you. Shubham, am I right? Okay, next one. Mm. Mm-hmm. Okay, next one. Guys, if you don't mind, last benches, can you join here so that I can hear you properly? Okay, yeah, next one. What is your specialization? Sorry, I lost there. Industrial management. What are you doing exactly in the PhD? First year. Okay, coursework is going on. Okay, I can understand. Thank you. Yeah, go on. Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, good. Okay, good. Thank you. Mhm. Mhm. Okay, thank you. If you guys any industrial experience, you can elaborate on that as well. Okay, don't hesitate to elaborate that as well. Next one. Yeah. Coimbatore. What is your PhD topic? Sustainable public. Are you in first year or second year? Fourth year. Okay. Sustainable public transportation. What are you doing there? Basically in sustainable. Mm-hmm. Mm. So barriers. How did you identify barriers, and how did you analyze those? Using MCDM. Same structural equation modeling. Okay. Then how did you collect the data for same? Okay. Good one. Sit down. Yeah. Next one. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which year? Third year. Healthcare supply chain. What are you doing exactly, specifically? What? Sorry, sorry. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Next one. Mm-hmm. Okay. So meta heuristic. What algorithms are you using? Hmm?
Population based.
Population based. Which population based algorithms?
The genetic algorithm.
Genetic. Okay. Good. Yeah. Next one.
So my name is Malhar. My name is Malhar Khole. I'm Tech second year Material Science and Technology department,
Hmm.
and I'm from Pune. Maharashtra.
Pune. Okay. Good.
Myself, Aman, and I am currently enrolled in Industrial and Management Specialization in the dual degree course at IIT and I am from Gurugram, Haryana.
Okay. Good.
I am Prasad. So, Decision Sciences and Engineering, MTech first year.
Hmm.
I am from Andhra Pradesh.
Okay. Good.
Hello sir, my name is Chinmoy. I'm from Assam, MTech first year Decision Sciences.
Okay. Good.
Hello sir, I am Shubham Raj. I am from Muzaffarpur, Bihar. I have completed my engineering in electronics and communication and worked as a software engineer for 3 years in Accenture. Currently, I am enrolled into MTech first year in decision sciences and engineering.
Okay. Good. So you have got some industry experience.
Yes.
Okay. And we have got two Shubham. Okay.
Yeah.
Good one.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Prashant Rahi. I am a MTech first year student of Decision Sciences.
Hmm.
After I completed my BTech in 2021. After that, I had 3 years of experience as a data engineer,
Okay.
data engineer in a TCS.
TCS. Oh,
Yeah.
good. Mm-hmm.
So, yes, sir. This is a first year student.
Okay. Good one.
Sir, my name is Vikesh, and I'm in MTech first year Decision Science and Engineering, and I'm from Hamirpur, Himachal Pradesh.
Okay. Good one.
Yes.
Hello sir, my name is Manish Shukla. I am from Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh, and I am in PhD in Industrial Management second year.
Topic.
Agriculture Supply Chain Management.
What are you doing in agriculture?
So basically I am collecting the data from governmental sites like NHB, National Horticulture Board, and what are the arrivals and production and the price for a particular mandi like in Varanasi. So based on that we making a model in R so that we can forecast what will be the next session arrival like this year and for future.
Okay.
So we can relate that what is the arrival and price, and if there is not a linear relationship between price and arrival, then we can go for other factors we can include using this simulation.
Okay.
Like in
So are you considering any uncertainty in that one while deciding that price and then arrival? You are saying uncertainty related.
so just collecting the data. Now I am relating that for past 10 years is they are going linearly or not, like arrival is more then price is going down or not.
Okay.
So for some sessions we see that the arrivals are more, still price is increasing. So why, what are the cases at that particular time? We are
Okay.
saying like that.
Okay. Good one. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good evening, sir. Myself, Sai Sandeep. I am studying first year MTech in Decision Science and Engineering. I am from Andhra Pradesh.
Okay. Good. Sai, am I right?
Sandeep, sir.
Sandeep. Okay.
Good evening, sir. My name is Notan. I am from the Andhra Pradesh. I am studying MTech in first year Decision Sciences.
Okay. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. My name is Shivam Verma. I am in first year MTech student in Decision Science and Engineering. I am from Dholpur, Rajasthan.
Okay. Good. 3 Shubhams. Shivam. Sorry.
Good evening, sir. Myself, Arvindaksh Pathak. I am in first year Decision Science, and my hometown is Varanasi itself.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. My name is Abhishek Madhesia. I am in MTech first year Decision Sciences. I am from Gorakhpur.
Okay. Good.
My name is Jagveer Singh. I am dual degree student in Industrial Management. I am from Faridabad, Haryana.
Okay. So in dual degree, what is your specialization in then undergraduate? Means which module do you study?
Industrial Management, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So this is my basically the research area, guys. Sorry. So digital supply chain. So in digital supply chain, I explore the industry 4.0, advanced digital technologies, blockchain, IoT, digital twins, and how we can integrate those technologies in supply chain and logistics to address some complex real life problems, or what will be the impact of these technologies on your supply chain performance, like economic performance, environmental performance, or societal performance. So that's the digital supply chain, and that's why I am leading this course. Next one is the supply chain risk and resilience. So in supply chain risk and resilience, what I do basically, I try to quantify the ripple effects. Do you know the ripple effect? Does anybody know the ripple effect? We'll see what is the ripple effect, bull effect. I will explain all those things. So that's the supply chain risk, and then again I explained already the one project, using logistics, how to identify the risk in your supply chain, then how to analyze those risks and how to propose some mitigation strategies. That's the second one. And then sustainability. So what are the three dimensions of sustainability? Come on, what are the three dimensions of sustainability? Economic, environmental, and third one is societal. Again, what I do here in the sustainability, I develop some models, decision support models or mathematical models, to try to find out the trade-off between all those three dimensions: economic dimension, environmental dimensions, and then social dimensions. So how we can adjust that trade-off. So that's the sustainability related research. And then you can look at my university profile if you want to know more about what I teach there and what is my the research interest. You can connect me on LinkedIn as well if you are interested. Okay, so the course objectives. So this is a 10 days course. Okay, so each day we have the 2-hour session. So what are the objectives of this course? So upon successful completion of this course, you will be able to understand the supply chain digitalization. Okay, so there are various terminologies like digitization, digitalization, then digital transformation. If you look at some reference books or academic articles, you will see these kind of terminologies. So I don't know whether you know the difference between these terminologies or not. So we are going to study that supply chain digitalizations. How is it different from the digital transformation? How is it different from your digitization? Then digital twin technology. Again, very fantastic and very interesting. The advanced digital technology. It is called digital twin technology. It is the advanced or extension of the normal simulation, basically, because in simulation you don't need the real-time data. For digital twin, digital twin, basically it is a virtual replica of your supply chain model. Okay, so basically, but for that your virtual model, you need the continuous supply of data. For simulation, you don't need the continuous data. You can consider the last 5 years data or 10 years before 10 years before data, and you can run your simulation model on that one. But for your digital twin, you need the real time data. Whatever happening in real time, you need that data. You feed that data to the model, and then the digital twin will analyze that data and then take some actions to optimize your supply chain or whatever the decisions you want to take. So we are going to talk about that digital twin technology. IoT. IoT means Internet of Things. Smart cars, smart watches, all those things, your Amazon's Alexa, Apple Siri, and all those things. So we are going to talk about what are the the applications of this IoT for supply chain connectivity, how we can use this IoT, because if you look at all these advanced digital technologies, these are interconnected, guys. Okay, you cannot use one in isolations, because for that one you need the additional another technology. Then simulation and optimization techniques. There is a difference between simulation and optimization techniques. For you cannot use simulation or optimization everywhere. So first you need to study what is the problem, what are the challenge, and based on that problem requirements, you decide whether you want to go with the simulation or you want to go with the optimization techniques. And there are again different methods to use or to code these simulation and optimization techniques. Then technologies for smart supply chain solutions. Smart supply chain solutions means again the integration of the advanced digital technologies in your smart supply chain. or you may say supply chain 4.0, supply chain 5.0, basically logistics 4.0. All these the smart supply chain, smart factory you say, or smart warehouse, basically they use these advanced technologies to enhance their operations, to streamline the processes. That's your technologies. The impact of digitalization on sustainability. Digitalization means whatever the digital technologies you are using, how it is affecting your sustainability. Sustainability means three dimensions. Because of this advanced technology, what is happening with the economic performance of your company, whether your profit going up, cost going down, what is happening with your environmental the performance, what is happening with your CO2 footprint. Okay, societal means the employees, the workers conditions who are working in the factory, whether they are getting any benefits because of this digitalization or not. Okay, that's the impact of digitalization. Analyze the real world case studies. So I have got so many interesting case studies for each I would say the lecture. So we are going to see those real world case study. We are going to analyze those case studies. I will share the research articles, those case studies, and we will discuss what are the outcomes of those learning or key takeaways from those case studies. And then at the end we develop a capstone digital solution for this digital supply chain. So let's check in before the course. Okay, some fun activity. So what you want to do, scan the QR code. Okay, use your mobile phone, and then let's see. Just this is anonymous quiz. I just wanted to know what do you know about the supply chain digitalization, digital supply chain. Okay, let me close the. I will share it. Don't worry. Again the. Have you already started answering? No? Okay. Second. Okay. Scan the QR code now. Or you can, if QR code is not working, you can go to the menti.com, okay, and you can use that QR code. If you are struggling with the QR code, you can go to the menti.com, okay, and then use that your use code 52113187. Then you can join the presentation. Shall I move forward? So first question, which of the following best defines supply chain management? Okay, you all are, most of you are from decision sciences and engineering master programs. So which of the following best defines supply chain management? First one is managing and only transportation and warehousing. Second, coordinating the flow of goods, services and information. Third one is selling products online. Fourth is manufacturing and retailing. I don't know who is answering because this is anonymous. I just see, okay, 10 students have answered. We have got almost 20 students here. 14. Then? Yeah, that's correct one. Coordinating the flow of goods, services and information. These are the three important flows in supply chain management. Next one. How do you describe today's supply chain? This is an open-ended question, so just write whatever you think, one word, 2 words, 3 words. Today's supply chain. We are not talking about traditional supply chain or anything. We are talking about today's supply chain. How do you describe today's supply chain? Any 2-3 words? Better than ever. Quick, commerce. Okay. If you are struggling, guys, to join, go to the menti.com on Google Chrome. Go to the menti.com. Use the code 52113187. Okay, supply network, flow of goods and information, supply chain, web, smart, global. Yeah, I got two answers here. What I wanted basically. I can see two words. Okay, global, smart. Okay, quick. Okay, heart of the company is additive manufacturing. Yeah, global supply chain, smart supply chain, fast, digital. Yeah, digital supply chain. Okay, good one. Backbone of industry, better than ever. Okay. Global, smart, digital, done. Information flow is done. Data collection, economies of scale. Okay, done. Think about global. What happens in global supply chain? What happens in global supply chain? Volatile, volatile in nature, dynamic, interconnected, long. Why long? Why do you call today's supply chain is a long supply chain? Most of the supply chains, I am not talking about with the because of the globalization. Okay, then interconnected, complex. Why is it complex? Do you think that managing supply chain is easy job or very difficult job? What do you think? Difficult. Why difficult? Any example? Mm-hmm. Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, you correctly pointed out the the complexities involved in the supply chains. Today's supply chain is global, long, dynamic, and interconnected. So if you, I don't know, if you want to make a single car, you need average 30,000 to 40,000 components. So 30,000 to 40,000 components means you need thousands of suppliers, tier 1 supplier, tier 2 supplier, tier 3 supplier, your distributors, retailers, and all those things. And if one of the part or component is delayed, what happen? You cannot make that assembly. That's why managing supply chain is not an easy job. Okay, this is just from your supply side. What about the demand side? What about demand side? Distributor, they don't want to keep the additional stock, they want to minimize the inventory cost. And as a manufacturer, you don't know the real demand from the distributor, retailer, and they don't share the exact information. Okay, so what happened during COVID-19? When initially lockdown and border closure closure imposed in China, what happened? All these western manufacturers located in US, UK, they managed somehow 10-15 days with whatever the stock they had. But after that, everybody struggled. Why? Because everybody was dependent on China. Okay, so that's why today's supply chain is very global, long, interconnected, and managing this supply chain is very difficult. It's not an easy job. Okay, let me move to the next one. What is the difference between digitization and digitalization? Okay, we are talking about digital supply chain, digitization, digitalization. So what is the difference? Again, open-ended question. Somebody was doing a project on digitization. Shubham, am I right? Who is doing a project on digitization? You. Digitalization. Okay, so then you must know the answer. Am I right? Difference between digitization and digitalization. Don't use the chat GPT, guys. Okay, I'm not judging you. Whatever you think that it could be the answer, just respond it. If you don't know it, that's fine. Modeling, calculation, and market reach. Okay. Implementation of technology in the supply chain refers to digitization, integrating modern. Digitization is analog to digital. Digitization is using digital technologies. I can get. I know basically when I see the responses, I know whether this is a The student written response, or this is GPT generated response? I have that expertise, guys. Okay, digitization means using technology to solve real world problems. Encoding digitization in single processor. Digitization means uses of digital. Yeah, so we got the answer there. So digitization, when we convert the analog data, physical data in your physical documents to the digital format, that's your digitization. What about digitalization? You use the advanced digital technologies. Suppose in your warehouse you are keeping the record of whatever the products coming into your warehouse, whatever the delivery you are doing, you are keeping the manual record of those the inventory, and then goods coming and goods going out. Suppose you are keeping that paper copy, and then you are scanning that paper copy and you are keeping in some digital format, that's your digitization. What about digitalization? You are using QR, RFID system, barcode scanner to keep the track of the inventory in your warehouse. That's your digitalization. Why? Because you are using advanced digital technologies to keep an eye on the inventory in your warehouse. Which statement is true? Digitization is just another term for digital transformation. Or digitization is about converting data, while digital transformation is a complete business change. Digital transformation only applies to IT companies, or if a company has a website, it has achieved digital transformation. Now another important term, digital transformation. In the last question we discussed the digitization and digitalization. Now digital transformation. What is digital transformation? Digitization is about converting data, while digital transformation is a complete business change. That's the correct answer, second one. Okay. So basically in the digital transformation means end to end your total business change. It's not only the one process or the one operations you are converting into the digital format. You are converting whole from end to end. Then you are focusing on the customer experience. You are trying to focus on the new business model, new strategies, new workflows. That's the complete redefining of your the organizations or the business model. That's your digital transformation. This is the last stage of your basically the digital transformation, I would say. What is the biggest challenge in traditional supply chains that digitalization solves? What is the biggest challenge in traditional supply chains that digitalization solves? Higher labor cost, overproduction, hiring employees, lack of visibility, and real-time tracking. Do you think that with the help of digitalizations we could reduce the labor cost, overproduction, hiring employees, lack of visibility, and real-time tracking? What is the correct answer? Lack of visibility and real-time tracking. What do you mean by visibility, guys? What is visibility? Real-time observation of what? Inventory. Okay. Do you think that we should only focus on our immediate customer and immediate supplier? Visibility means what? Do you want only the complete information from your immediate supplier? Whole end-to-end visibility from whatever the supplier, tier 2 supplier, tier 3 suppliers you have, you need the complete the information. Does anybody know how Sony become Sony Ericsson? Because that's very interesting case study with the lack of visibility. What happens? Does anybody has any idea how Sony become the Sony Ericsson? We are going to cover that case study in risk management, but I am just telling you, when you go to home, just see how Sony becomes Sony Ericsson, then you will get to know what is the importance of visibility in supply chain. Okay. What comes to mind when you hear digital supply chain? Look at these terminologies, guys. Initially we talked about digitization, now digitalization, then digital transformation, now digital supply chain. What is digital supply chain? What comes to mind when you hear digital supply chain? Do you mean digital supply chain one process or one operation? What do you think? or end-to-end? Online management of supplier, what supplier end-to-end? Okay. Customer satisfaction. Digital supply chain means it is an fully integrated, interconnected system that transforms the entire supply chain from supplier end to the customer end, and it optimizes. That's your digital supply chain. Which of these not a benefit of digital supply chains? Increased flexibility, real-time tracking, slower decision making, reduced operational cost. Okay, I got all the responses. Increased flexibility, real-time tracking, slower decision making, reduced operational cost. Let's see. Slower decision making. This is not a benefit of digital supply chain. Because of digital supply chain, you can increase the flexibility. You can do the real-time tracking of your goods. You can reduce the operational cost. But slower decision making, it doesn't reduce the speed of your decision making. What is a digital twin? Don't worry, guys. This is just to get to know that what do you know about this. We are going to learn all these technologies. Don't worry about that. Virtual model that mimics the real world of operations. Yeah, a type of AI chatbot. Okay. Virtual model that replicates the real world situations, and then but the important thing is that you need the real time data from the your system. Which technology is commonly used for real time supply chain tracking? IoT, blockchain, digital twin, or 3D printing? IoT, Internet of Things. IoT devices, sensors, RFID, all those things we use to for the real-time tracking. Digital twin blockchains, they have got other benefits, but normally for real-time tracking we use IoT, Internet of Things. Blockchain helps in supply chains by what? Another very fantastic technology in digital supply chain, making transaction transparent and secure, improving storage capacity, reducing the number of suppliers, or replacing inventory management system. The correct answer is first one, making transaction transparent and secure. Okay, so that's why this again very fantastic case study. You can see the IBM's blockchain. IBM's they used the blockchain technology for the transparency in the food supply chain from farm to table. Okay, we are going to cover one very interesting again case study. It's called horse meat scandal in the UK. Okay, I will explain that case study. So basically, what happened? The horse meat was intentionally inserted into the expensive beef sandwiches, and it was very difficult for the consumers to identify whether it is a beef or whether it is a horse meat. Okay, so we can use the blockchain technology for those kind of problems. Which industry benefits the most from AI driven demand forecasting? Automotive, fashion, retail, and commerce, all of the above. Yeah, that's true. All automotive, fashion, retail, and e-commerce. Which of these is not an optimization technique in supply chain? Simulation model, machine learning, manual spreadsheet tracking, big data analytics. Manual spreadsheet tracking, because with the help of other techniques we can optimize the things. What role does AI play in supply chain risk management? AI means artificial intelligence. What is the role of this AI in supply chain risk management? Predicting disruption, reducing worker wages, eliminating suppliers, or slowing down the supply chain. Predicting the disruptions. What kind of disruptions? Unforeseen disruptions in the future. Sustainable supply chain practices focus on reducing carbon footprint, lowering customer service, eliminating suppliers, or increasing the paperwork. My pre-existing knowledge on this topic. What is the topic? Next generation supply chains. IoT, digital twin and driven supply chains. So what is your pre-existing knowledge? No knowledge, little bit, heard about it but not studied, taken a basic course, want broader knowledge. Okay, we have good mixture of students. No knowledge of the topic, little bit, so but most of the things heard about it. Yeah, digitalization, but don't know exactly what is the difference between these technologies, these terminologies, and how they are we can use those technologies in the supply chain management. What do you want to learn from this 10 days course? Just want the certification? What do you want? What do you want to learn? We are going to cover the any logistics as well. We are going to cover the digital twin, how to model the digital twin, how to optimize the things, how to do the simulations, all those things. Knowledge and practical implementation. Yeah, definitely we are going to cover very interesting case studies. 4 case studies are there. Solve research problem. Yeah, we are going to I will explain my research papers as well, where I use the any logistics tools and other techniques. Industrial explorer, supply chain management, projectizer, new trends, case studies. Yeah, new trends, case studies, that is the last the basically the lecture where we are going to talk about the future trends, industry 5.0 technologies, society 5.0. Now some of you I think working on the industry 4.0 technologies, barriers and all those things, but already industry 5.0 is there. So now it's time to focus on the industry 5.0. Want to learn about how to implement them in project specific modeling and operations management. Yes, any questions, any doubts before we move on to our main presentation? All clear? Okay, thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed this interactive activity. Now let me move on to the main presentation deck. Okay, so introduction to the supply chain, digitalization and application. Okay, so now we are talking about the everyday supply chain. So tell me, what is supply chain, guys? Simple words. What is supply chain management? Anyone? Managing the flow of goods and information. Okay. Anyone? Aman? Mm-hmm. Okay. Anyone else would like to add anything? What is supply chain management? Simple words. Simple whatever do you know about supply chain management? Yeah, different components or different organization like supplier, manufacturer, distributor. Yeah, that's one. Let's understand this supply chain with the simple example. Suppose Aman wants to drink a cold drinks now. Okay, it's very hot outside, and suppose he wants to drink a cold drinks. What he would do? You go somewhere outside. Okay, say he go to the retail store. For example, he wants to drink the cold drinks. This is Aman. Okay, he go to the retail store here. Okay, don't consider the kirana or normal shop. Say a retail store. What he does there, basically, when he goes there, he enters into that retail store. He goes to the respective shelf where that cold drinks bottles have kept. What do you do next? Tell me. Okay, take up the bottle. Okay, then counter. You go to the counter, you do the payment, and you leave the. Do you randomly pick the bottle? What choice? Do you want Coca-Cola? Do you want Sprite or Fanta, whatever it may be? So when you suppose you want the Coca-Cola, okay, do you again see something in that, or do you randomly pick the Coca-Cola bottle? There are a couple of Coca-Cola bottles kept there. 4-5 bottles are there. Yeah, but what I'm saying, there are different types of Coca-Cola bottles. There are different types of Coca-Cola bottles, not what kind. Yeah, size, volume is the one content. But what else? Expiry date is there. What else? Price. What other criteria do you see? Cold or not? Okay. Anybody? I am looking for one answer. Ingredients. Suppose I have the sugar problem. I don't have anyone, any, but I am saying that. Suppose I have a sugar problem. What I would, what I want, zero sugar. So that's the ingredient. Basically, I pick up that bottle. Okay, I see. Okay, what is the sugar level? What is the ingredients? All those things. Then once I am satisfied with this content, I go to the payment counter. I do the payment, and then I leave that store. Okay. So that's your retail store. How does that retail store get the products? From distributor. Distributor does the delivery of those cold drinks bottle to the retail stores. How does the distributor gets the bottle? From manufacturer. So what are the main ingredients of these cold drinks or any bottle? Chemical or whatever the bottle is there, packaging is there. Okay. So let's say the packaging is there, important. This is the one of the important supplier for your bottle. Okay, packaging. So this is one of the supplier for manufacturer, and then this packaging supplier has got their own tier 2, tier 3 supplier. So packaging supplier, that packaging supplier needs the paper to make this packaging, then that is the paper manufacturer. Then tier 1 supplier like wood, all those things you need to make those paper. So that's your packaging supplier. What else? Tier 2 supplier, ingredient supplier, whatever the ingredients inside that bottle. So that is another supplier, and again that ingredient supplier has got the tier 1 supplier, tier 2 suppliers. And then plastic bottles, you need the bottle as well. And then bottle producer is there, tier 1 supplier and tier 2 supplier. So tell me, what are the three important flows in this supply chain? What are the three important flows in supply chain? Sorry? Loud. Product information and fund. How does the product flow? From supplier to? Okay, product flows from supplier end to the customer end. What about the money flow? Customer to, because when Aman buys that bottle, he pays the money at the counter. Okay, money goes from Aman to retail store to the distributor, distributor to the manufacturer, and then all those things. What about the information? Why both direction? Mm-hmm. Okay. Demand prediction one side. Okay. Yes, but I am just trying to understand. So like money flow, product flow you mentioned, it goes from like money flow, Aman pays to the retail store pays to the distributor. Now explain me the information flow. How does information goes from this supply demand side to the customer end, to the upstream level? Explain me. Hmm. 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 Okay. Okay. Oh, that's correct. From manufacturer distributor. Suppose I want to understand from the point of Aman. How does the information goes from Aman to that retail store? Tell me. What he did basically, he went to the retail store. Yeah, that's the one. But basically he read the ingredients. This is the information. Who added this information? Manufacturer. What is the purpose of this information? To pass this information to the customer level. So when you read it, it means that that information is successfully transferred to the customer. And then how does the information goes from the Aman to the retailer? Yeah, feedback expired. But how does that distributor knows that Aman has bought one bottle from the retail store? Yeah, but when you scan at the payment counter, what happens? When you scan at the counter? Real time in this retail store, suppose they have got 100 bottles left before Aman enter into the that shop. Aman scanned the bottle and bought 1 bottle. What happened with that inventory level at this retail store? It get updated. 100, then it becomes 99. Okay, and that information is transferred to the distributor. That stock is reduced to the 99. So that's the way the information is transferred from this way to this way. That's the information flow in both direction. Now tell me about what happens in the reverse logistics closed loop supply chain. Tell me the example of reverse logistics first. Hmm? Okay. Damage and I want to return that product. Okay. Hmm. So how does it affect these 3 important flows? Material. How does the material flow in reverse supply chain? What about the money? Supplier to the end. What about the information? Got it? If you go to the interview and somebody asks you what is supply chain management and what are the 3 important flows, you should know this one. Okay, this is a very basic understanding or basic the knowledge about the supply chain. Okay, and why do you take you explain about the Flipkart and the reverse logistics, but in electronics industries nowadays, many electronic industries, they take back your used products. What is the purpose of that? Recycling, remanufacturing, to capture some values from that used products. So this is our focus supply chains, basically focus organizations, and you have got the immediate supplier and immediate customer. So focus organization, it can be any player in your supply chain. That could be your distributor, retailer, that could be your the manufacturer. Suppose in this case we are saying focus organization is manufacturer. Who are the immediate supplier for manufacturer? Tier 1 supplier. What about the customer? Who is the immediate customer of manufacturer? Distributor. Okay. Then again the 3 important flows: material flow, money flow, information flow. So focus organization can be any player in the supply chain. Okay. And then supply chain describes the total journey of the materials from the extractions and until the end of its useful life. And then it presence of material, information and resources plus returns in closed loop supply chains. Just now we discussed about the reverse logistics and what is the role of returns in the closed loop supply chain. So this is your supplier. What is the role of supplier, guys, in supply chain management? What is the role of supplier? Provide the raw material components to the manufacturer. Okay. What is the next? Manufacturer. To produce the finished goods. Okay, finished goods. Then next one is, after finished goods, they go to the distributors. Then distributor to the retailers, and retailer to the customers. So what is the inbound logistics in this supply chain? Inbound logistics. What about the outbound logistics? Outbound logistics. What is the materials management? Materials management. Whatever the movements you are doing within the factory, that is called materials management. What is upstream here? Upstream level, tell me, where is the upstream level? Upstream, we are talking about upstream supply chain, downstream supply chain. What is upstream here? What is upstream? Upstream supply chain, from supplier to the manufacturer. Then downstream from manufacturer to the rest of your customers. Okay. So inbound logistics. Inbound logistics basically the movement of the raw material and components from supplier to the manufacturer. And when you make the finished goods with the help of those raw material and components, then you move those finished goods from manufacturer to the rest of your supply chain members. That is called your outbound logistics. Material management means when you move the material within the factory. For what purpose do you move the materials within the factory, guys? Processes, because if you look at the assembly line, there are different operations involved. Okay, so that's why you move the material within your factory. So do you think that each product has the same supply chain, or each product has a different supply chain? Suppose this is a bottle and this is a slide changer. These are the two products. So do you think that both products have the same supply chain, or do they have the different supply chains? Why different supply chain? Sorry, go on. Yeah, that's the correct. Because these are our typical supply chain members. So it is not necessary that all these members present in your every supply chain. There is one integral element here, or component. What is that component? Customer. In every supply chain, customer is there. If there is no demand, there is no value for your product. Okay, so each product depending on the features of the product has its own supply chain. That supply chain can be simple and easy, or that supply chain can be very complex and long. Got it? So tell me the example of simple and easy supply chain. Where do you do the grocery shopping, guys? For grocery shopping, where do you go? Kirana store, or fruits or vegetables I am talking about. Where do you have any market here? Farmers market, anything here? Fruit vendors are there. Okay, so do you think that fruit vendors, how many members are present in that supply chain? Suppose fruit vendors are not there. Suppose assume the fruit vendors are farmers. So I think farmers market is not common here, but if you go to somewhere else, you see the farmers market where farmers set up their own stalls to sell the fresh fruits and vegetables. Okay, so how many members are present in that supply chain? Two members. Who are those? Producers and supply chain. So do you think that that's a simple and easy supply chain? Why? Okay, so yeah, that is the one reason. Stakeholders are less. Only two members are present there. What happens if suppose there is tell me the example now, long and complex supply chain. Pharmaceutical. Yeah, tell me. Explain it. How does it complex? Hmm. 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 Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why. Again, there are different reasons behind those complex supply chains, because of the members involved in supply chain. The features of that product. Pharmaceutical is again very complicated and unique nature of the supply chain. Why is it a unique nature of supply chain, guys? Why is it a unique nature or unique supply chain? Pharmaceutical, because it directly deals with the public health. If there is any problem in that supply chain, if there is any problem in that product, it will significantly affect the population or the health. If you look at the automotive supply chain, manufacturing supply, suppose there is a problem in the automotive supply chain, what will happen? The company may lose some money. That's the only the outcome. But in pharmaceutical supply chain, what would happen? In addition to the financial losses, you may experience some societal problems as well. Like during COVID-19, there was a loss, financial loss, but also we lost millions of people. Okay, that's why pharmaceutical is a very different kinds of supply chain. Again, very famous example is automotive supply chain. Thousands of supplier, distributor, retailers, and if you take any company, guys, in any sector, you would find one thing. What is that one thing? If you take any pharmaceutical, automotive, fashion, you would find one common thing in those supply chains. What is that common thing? Not customer. Customers are there every. I'm talking about one specific thing. Think about logistics. Why every company, every supply chain involves the logistics. There is one common thing. What is it? Demand is there. Demand is there for everyone. But look at their locations. Do you know the locations of the? If you take the automotive supply chain, where are the manufacturers located? Where are the automotive? If you take any Toyota, General Motors, we have some. They have some plants in the India and other countries as well. But majority of the manufacturers, where are they based? Which area? No, I am not talking about India. I am global point of view. Global. Think from global perspective. Whatever the automotive companies are there, most of them, they are Western manufacturers. UK, US, they are assembly plants. Some companies, they have got the plants in India. But if you look at the scale, they have got their main plants located somewhere in the US, UK. And where are their suppliers located? Developing countries, Asia, India, Bangladesh, China, all those things. Take the example of fashion as well. The fashion's main supplier is the Bangladesh. If you go to the UK, US, and if you look at the made in, you find made in Bangladesh, made in Colombia. Why? Because they send the raw cottons from the US, and they use the cheap labor here, the machineries to make those, the fabric, yarns, the cloths, and then any Zara, M&S, if you take anything, they bring back those those cloths to the US. Same if you take the retail, pharmaceutical as well. Again, very good example. What during COVID-19 happened. So all these, the supply chains. The common thing is that somehow their suppliers are located in Asian countries or the developing countries. And during COVID-19, when lockdown and border closures imposed, everybody struggled, experienced the shortages because of this. The connections to the developing countries. So each product has its own supply chain. So farmers market, I explained already. Complicated means automotive, because of 1,000 suppliers, 1,000 distributors, and so on. So what is the difference between supply chain management and logistics, guys? What is the difference between supply chain management and logistics? Logistics is a sub part of supply chain. What does it involve in logistics? When you say logistics, storing and transportation. That's correct. Okay. So if you want to see the standard definition of supply chain management, there is very fascinating definition given by the Council of Supply Chain Management Professional. So this is the definition of supply chain management. It includes the planning and management of all activities involved in sourcing. Look at the components: sourcing and procurement. It starts with the supplier. It includes planning and management of all activities starting from your supplier end. Then conversion. What is the conversion? Conversion of raw material and components into the finished products. Where do you do that? Manufacturing plant. And all logistics management activities. The movement and storage of all your finished goods, raw material components, all those activities. Importantly, it also includes the coordination and collaboration with the channel partners. Do you need to consider only the supplier manufacturer in your supply chain, or do you need to focus on anything else? What? All the stages, but in addition to that, do you need to consider anything else? Supply chain means, do you think only supplier, manufacturer, distributor, retail, and customer? Are there anything else? Financial aspects. But what I am saying, are there any other members involved in that supply chain? How many of you do online food delivery? Online food delivery. Who is involved in that food delivery in addition to the supplier and buyer? Delivery boy. You are missing that one. Logistics provider, third party logistics provider, fourth party logistics provider. They also play important role in your supply chain. Without them, you can't move the goods from one part to another part. Okay. So that's why you need to focus on the suppliers, intermediaries, and third party service providers and customers as well. Logistics management. It is that part of supply chain management that plans, implements, and controls the efficient and effective forward and reverse flow. Why is it a reverse flow, guys? again in the reverse supply chain, we need to take back those products from the customer, and we need to move to the either distributor level, retail level, or the supplier, or manufacturing level, depending on the company's requirements. That's why reverse flow. And storage of goods. Sometimes when students hear this term logistics management, they only talk about transportation, moving goods from one point to another. It doesn't include that. It also includes the what? Storage as well. Storage warehouses. Storage of goods, services, and related information between the point of origin and the point of consumption in order to meet customers' requirements. That's your logistics management. This is the structure of supply chain. Again, we talked about little bit earlier. We have the focus organization. Any player can become a focus organization, and that focus organization has got the first tier customers, immediate customers, suppliers. And then that first tier suppliers, you can see the second tier suppliers, and they have got their original suppliers, third tier suppliers. So depending on the features of the product, you may have the only one or two tier suppliers, or you may have third tier supplier, fourth tier suppliers. Then you have got again first tier customers, second tier customers, and third tier customers. You can say final customers as well. So this is your inbound logistics, materials management, outbound logistics, and you can see materials management through operations. So we talked about the supply chain includes movement of products from suppliers to manufacturer to distributor, but it also includes the movement of information, funds, and the products in both direction, in reverse supply chain. So if you look at the typical supply chain, so the main stages is supplier, manufacturer, distributor, retailer, manufacturer, supplier. One important ingredient or component is the, what is that important component? Customer. Customer is present in every supply chain. So examples of supply chains. So as I said, typical component: supplier, manufacturer, distributor, retailer. Do you know how many members are there in Dell supply chain? When initially Dell started its business, do you know their network? When initially Dell started, Dell used to buy the components for products from its supplier, and after that product is purchased by customer. Customer, Dell, and suppliers, only 3 members were there. What happens, guys, if you have more number of intermediaries present in your supply chain? What is the problem of more members involved in your supply chain? Cost will increase, lead time will go up. What else? Unnecessary, your supply chain will become complicated, and the price of that product will also go up. Why? Because another member is coming into that network. That member will take its share. Okay, so that's why Dell initially started. I think now they have got all distributor and retailers, but when initially they started their business, their business model was only supplier, the Dell, and the customers. Similarly, Apple, they have got their own network. Zara's, again, in the fashion sector, Zara is very famous for making the clothes based on the new trends. Then Toyota, General Motors, everything. Like if you see the Amazon, initially they were selling the books. Now almost they sell everything. Okay, so now this Uber and all those other things. So you can see some examples of supply chain here. So for cosmetics and handicraft, manufacturer, directly user. Industrial goods, suppose if you want to buy a big machinery, suppose if you want to buy a aircraft, do you go to the distributor? Do you go to the retailer? Where do you go? Directly manufacturer. So depending on the nature of the products, nature of that supply chain, it depends what channel is involved there. Again, some example of supply chains. Food grain supply chain in India. As I said, I did this work during my PhD. So if you look at the supply chain, we have got the farmers who produce this food grain, wheat and rice. After this production, what they do? They go to the government approved procurement center, mandis, where they sell the products, their food and rice, at minimum support price, whatever fixed by the government. Then from that procurement center, the food grain, it goes to the what? Surplus state. What is surplus? Surplus and deficit state. I already explained. Surplus states means supply is more than their demand. Deficit means supply is less than their demand. So this is a surplus state. Okay, this is your surplus states. For wheat and rice, which are the surplus states? For example, Punjab and Haryana, they make huge amount of food grain, wheat and rice. Okay, so that's why they are surplus states. Then from this, look at the logistics here. So the within state, they do the road transportation, but from one state to another state, they use the rail mode of transportation, again because of the low cost. So then these are the silos. I talked about silos. So these are the, you can see the examples of silos, cylindrical structure where they keep the food grain, wheat and rice in bulk form. They don't use the gunny jute bags to keep that food grain. Then sorry. So once your product food grains reach to the deficit state, then they have got again the central warehouses, state warehouses. Initially they reach to this one, then after that they goes to the district level warehouses. From them it goes to the fair price shops, and then finally we visit that fair price shops, and we buy that food grain, wheat and rice. This is another example of supply chain. So here manufacturer is not there involved. Why? Because suppliers, our farmers, they are there, distributor, retailers, everything is managed by the government, public distribution system. Okay, any doubts, any questions? No, all clear? I think we will take, do you need 5 minutes break? It's already 1 hour, or shall I continue? Yeah, 5 minutes break. Okay, yeah. Saurabh, how many participants are there for online? Do you have any? Okay. Okay, yeah, we'll go. Guys, yeah, go and grab a cup of tea. Yeah, we'll start in 5 minutes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. What area did you say? Your research topic? Healthcare supply chain. Okay, good, good. Yeah, come. Shall we start, guys? Almost everybody is there, only 2 or 3 students are not there. Okay. So we were talking about supply chain examples. So this is one example of food grain supply chain. Another example I would like to explain automotive supply chain, because we have been talking about the complex supply chain, automotive supply chain. So here you can see the original equipment manufacturer. Okay, so in-house manufacturing assembly process, they do the production, sub assemblies, painting, machining, so on. And if you look at their tier 1 manufacturers, tier 1 suppliers, component suppliers, okay, so this is the power train supplier, tire supplier, seat supplier, electronic supplier, glass supplier. Guys, one question: why don't they do all these products in house? Why they don't go with the tier 1 supplier? What is the reason behind that? Why don't they make all these products in their own factory? Why do they go with these all the suppliers? Any reason? Cost will be more. Yeah, gone. Yeah, and this is the one. You are also correct. Focus on your core expertise. Their main expertise is engine, whatever other things, and these are the not their expertise. They can outsource activities. Okay, that's why tier 1 component suppliers. Then tier 1 component suppliers, they have got tier 2 tier 2 suppliers as well, like piston, you can say, gears, alloy wheel, rubber tire, leather, seat frame, and so on. And all these tier 2 suppliers, they have got tier 3 suppliers. Okay, so initial raw material, steel, rubber, plastics. So do you think that if one of the supplier is not following the ethical way, or is doing some wrong activities, exploiting the child labors, or something is doing unethically, do you think that it will affect this your OEM? Do you think that? No. Whose responsibility? The suppliers. Who is the powerful player in this supply chain? Who is the poor player in this supply chain? Manufacturer. Okay, if one of the supplier is doing some wrong activities, is not following the ethical operations, or exploiting the child laborers, do you think that the news come like this small supplier is exploiting the child laborers? What comes when it comes into the news? Manufacturer, big company is exploiting the child laborers in its supply chain. Sorry, go on. Yeah, reputation. So that's why it is not that only suppliers responsibility, it is the OEM's responsibility as well, manufacturers. Because if you are buying something from your supplier and you are not aware of what activities they are doing, if the workers conditions are not good in their factories, wages they are not going, then what are you doing? No, you are not doing the ethical business, you know those things. So that's why same thing happen. I will give one example as well. In the food supply chain, basically food supply chain, one of the major the processor was from US, and tier 3 supplier who was using the child labor to pick up the crop from the farms somewhere in developing countries and all those things, and that food processor was not aware about that tier 3 suppliers activity. When the news came, it came like big US food processing company is exploiting the child labor to pick up the crop in the farms. What happened? Whose reputation went down? The main big processing company. So that's why it's not your responsibility, everybody's responsibility. All members in your supply chain, they need to share and transfer this accurate information with the other members, so that this visibility will be improved and everybody will get benefits from that information. So this is a example of automotive supply chain, and again, as I said, 1,000 suppliers are involved. So average 30,000 to 40,000 parts you need to make a single car, and if one of the components get delayed, you cannot make the assembly. That's why this is the best example of the complex dynamic nature. Okay, for example, do you know any recent events happening in the global supply chain? Tell me any recent events happening in the global supply chain. Why did we face the chip supplier, semiconductor chip supply shortages during COVID-19? Is there any reason? Okay. Hmm. Lockdown and border closures, the manufacturers couldn't get the chips from those suppliers. That's the one reason. Another reason? Ukraine and Russia war. Yeah. Yeah, that is the one. Anything else? Where did you during COVID, first and second lockdown? Everybody was working from home. The demand for laptop, electronic devices, what happened? Went up. That's why supply shortages were there, but in addition to that, your demand also went up, because everybody was working from home and they wanted more number of electronic devices. So demand was huge, supply was affected. That's why and then the automotive companies as well, they also experienced the shortages because of these huge problems. That's the one. Okay, the COVID one. What else? Russia Ukraine war, the Middle East crisis. What else? What's happening recent time, guys? Come on. Who? I think. What's your name? Okay. So you were working on port. Am I right? Okay. So from shipping side, maritime. What happened recent times, guys? What events happened which affected the global supply chain? US election. I am talking about maritime shipping, logistics. What happened? Any recent events? Don't you follow the news, guys? Evergreen ship. Evergreen ship stuck in the where? Red Sea. Red Sea. Suez Canal. What is the importance of that Suez Canal? Do you know the importance of that Suez Canal? Europe to Africa. That is the shortest route from Asia to Europe. If you close that route, what happen? Disruption. But what is the alternative route? Around the Africa, Cape of Good Hope. Do you know how much time additional time do you need if you follow that longer route? You need additional 10 days. If you block that shortest route from Asia to Europe, your ship will grow from that Cape of Good Hope. You need additional 10 days. You need additional 8,000 to 10,000 kilometers. What happens if you take this long route? Lead time will increase, transportation cost will increase. At the end, the price of the product will go up. Okay, so that's why that's the Suez Canal. But recently something happened as well. What is that? Because of that, freight management shipping company, they were taking this longer route. What is that reason? The attacks on cargo ships in the Red Sea. That's why the shipping companies, they were taking this longer route. So again, because of this complicated nature, because if you are bringing some components, raw material components, suppliers located in Asia, and you are following that Suez Canal, if something happen, you take the longer route, everything will be affected. 10 days more, 10,000 kilometers more cost, more lead time. At the end, the price will go up. Okay, so that's why the managing this long and complicated supply chain is very important. Another example, food supply chain. So simple example, we talked about farmer supply chain. Supplier, farmer is there. But in addition to that, if you look how many, suppose if you are growing your fruits and vegetable in your back garden, that's the simple example of supply chain. You are the only entity involved. You grow your own fruit and vegetable. You use it for your own food. Okay. Is there any uncertainty involved in? Is there any problem from the supplier side? Anything? No, nothing. Very simple. Okay. In addition to that, if you take the example of automotive, 1,000 supplier, 1,000 distributors, many things could happen, could go wrong, and it will affect your supply chain. That's your simple supply chain. Then local farm. So if you see here the plate, so the table, and then transportation and local farm. Local farm means where you are going fruits and vegetables. This is the simple one. You add another transportation network from that farm to the plate. Okay. This is the farmers market. Third one, farm, transportation, market, and plate. So you can see, then supermarket. Supermarket means you are growing the fruit and vegetable at farms, and then you are moving transportation from packaging and distribution. If you look at the grapes here, many products from the India, they go to the US, UK, and other parts of the okay. So from farm goes to the transportation, packaging, and distribution. Then from packaging and distribution, store, and then plate, and then food delivery. The whatever the Uber, Swiggy, whatever. Farm, transportation, distribution, packaging, delivery, plate. What does it show? Basically, when you add the members in your supply chain becomes long, complicated, and there are more chances that you may experience some unexpected events or unforeseen events from your supply chain members. So that's why during COVID-19, everybody was talking about short and local supply chain. Short and local supply chain means your suppliers are nearby, your manufacturer is there, your customers are there. You don't experience because of these tariffs. Now what Donald Trump did, he imposed the huge tariffs on the China, US, sorry, the Canada, Mexico, and all those things. It will significantly affect the exports of those companies. Okay, so that's why if you try to make a balance of your local supplier and global supplier, so you would enhance the operations in your supply chain. You can get the good profit from those supply chains. So what is the aim of supply chain? To match the supply with demand, so that you can make the profit from selling the products and services. Okay, match the supply with the demand. That's the only the main aim. Whatever the supply is there, demand is there, and then your target is to match the supply with the demand, so that you can achieve the right product at the right price at the right store, in the right quantity, right customer, and the right time, so that your profit will go up. How do you calculate the profit, guys? Any idea? How do you calculate the profit? Gross margin minus what is the revenue? What is the revenue? How do you calculate the revenue in your supply chain or in any company? Sales generated excluding tax. That revenue. How do you calculate the profit then? Yeah, that's the one. Profit means the whatever the revenue you are getting. Suppose you are selling this slide changer. Okay, the price of this slide changer is 10 pounds or 10 rupees. So revenue is, suppose you sell 100 products, 10 into 100, that's your revenue. And then you need to calculate the costs, how much cost you need to make those 100 products. So that revenue minus cost, whatever you get, that's your profit. So the When one of the member is making the profit, it doesn't mean that your supply chain is successful. All the member, they should make the profit, then only your supply chain is successful. If only one big player is making supplier profit, suppose manufacturer is making profit, your suppliers are there incurring losses, your supply chain is not working properly. So the overall aim of supply chain or logistics, manage the flow of materials through the supply chain, helping to achieve the higher customer satisfaction, and using resources efficiently to give low cost. Low cost means when you are reducing the cost, means your profit will go up. Either you increase the revenue or you reduce the cost, your profit will go up, and enhance the customer satisfaction. Decisions in supply chain. What are the 3 important decisions in supply chains? Strategic, tactical, operational and tactical. What is strategic decisions? Long term decisions. What do you mean by long term? What is the time period for long term decisions? More than 1 year. Any examples of long term decisions? Establishment of warehouses, facilities, factories. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, type of products to be produced. Okay, those are the your strategic long term decision. There is another reason why do you call it as a strategic decisions or long term decisions? What is that? How much money do you need for this kind of decisions? Investment? Huge amount of investments you need, and you cannot recover that investment in 1 year, 2 years. You need minimum 5 years, 10 years. Suppose you set up a factory today here in Varanasi, and you are experiencing some losses. You cannot change that factory location in 1 month, 2 months to somewhere else. Okay, so that's why normally these are the decisions taken by the top management, board of governors in your organizations. That's your strategic level decisions. Then second one is the medium level. What is that? Managerial level decision makings. What is the time period for this one? Less than a year, quarter to year. What kind of decisions we take, and who are responsible for those decisions? Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so basically initially the long term strategic level decisions are made. Based on those strategic level decisions made, then the medium term decisions are taken. Okay, so suppose your whatever the strategic level decisions you made, suppose you want to locate the factory here. Okay, now you want to focus on how do you want to move the products from this factory to the nearby distributors, retailers, then how much inventory you want to keep into that factory, all those thing decisions. And then third one is the operational level, day to day or weekly decisions. Okay, scheduling and all those things, order receiving and all those things. So that's the operational level decisions are there, and again these are managed by this your medium term decisions. Decisions in supply chain, strategic level, as I said, decision about the structure of supply chain, what processes each stage will perform. Look, some example like location and capacities of facilities, whether you want to make the products in-house or outsourcing, mode of transportation. Supply chain decision must support the strategic objectives of your company, like whether you want to make a focus on profit or customer experience or something else. Supply chain decisions are long term and they need huge amount of investment. Managerial time frame is quarter to year, fixed by supply chain configuration, means strategic level decisions. It start with the forecasting of the demand, and then again, as I said, which markets supply from which factory, the planned build up of inventories, inventory policies, and so on. You need to consider the demand uncertainty in this one, because you are doing the forecasting, so you need to consider the demand uncertainty, exchange rate, competition over the time horizon. And third one is the tactical level, operational level decisions. Operational means weekly or daily, individual customer orders, and then allocate orders to inventory or production, set order due dates, and it involves much of uncertainty. So what's supply chain today? So we looked at that Menti.com. So you mentioned that the global supply chain, digital one, long, So what else? What else? Global. Global. Why do you say global supply chain? Because multiple suppliers are there, distributors, they are located across the globe. Complex, again 1,000 supplier distributors, managing them is very difficult. Interconnected, all are interconnected. If one of the member is affected, whole network will be affected. Volatile in nature. Volatile means Red Sea crisis. If you are bringing some products from Asia to the the UK or Europe, you don't know what will happen in that 1 month time or whatever 10-15 days. Volatile nature. Dynamic, again time sensitive, data driven and fragmented in nature. So global supply chain management work worldwide. Now little bit stats facts about the supply chain market worldwide. So if you look at this data, market size in billion US dollars. So in 2020, the global supply chain management market was valued 15.58 billion US dollar, and it is expected to reach at 31 billion US dollar. Why? Why this market is going up, guys? Demand is going up. Why demand is going up? Your population is increasing, that's why demand is increasing. Okay, and then again the short life cycle of products, and then customizations. The customers, they want the personalized items excuse me. Because of that, the size of the global supply chain market is exponentially expanding, increasing. So in 2020, just a second. In 2020, Germany SAP was the leading supply chain management software supplier with revenue of around 4.4 billion US dollars. Again, this Statista website, if you are doing any project or in dissertation, this website is really good. You can get the good statistics from this website. I don't know, we need the subscription basically. I have the subscription, but I don't know whether IIT BHU has a subscription or not. Then digital world, we live in the digital world. Why? Because of the internet access. Okay, so if you look at the facts, global stats about global number of internet users from 2005 to 2024. As of 2024, the estimated number of internet users worldwide was 5.5 billion. So what is the current population? Any idea? World's population? 8 billion, 8.2 billion, 8.3 billion. Out of those 8.2 or 8 billion, 5.3 billion users have got the internet access. So around 68% of the global population is digital global population. They have got the internet access. Why I am showing this internet access or all those things, guys? Tell me. Digital supply chain, and it's related with the e-commerce, online shopping and all those things. Okay, sorry. Top regions, if you look at here, Northern Europe leads in internet penetration with 99% usage in Netherlands, Norway and Saudi Arabia. Lowest access you can find in the North Korea, and largest user base is in Asia with 2.93 billion, out of that 5.3 billion. Top countries, China, India, US, they have got the highest number of internet users. Again, worldwide digital population, internet users 5.52. Out of those 5.52, 5.22 billion users are social media users. Have you heard this term, guys? Live stream shopping. Does anybody know the live stream shopping? Google it when you get the time. Live stream shopping. So this is again very important concept, or I would say the trend, and you can do your project as well on that one if you want. Live stream shopping. So where celebrities or some social media influencers, they come online, live stream, they show the products, and you can buy the products during that time. You get some discounts and all those things. So that's called live stream shopping. So now we say that in today's world, this is a digital era or digital world, and huge amount of data is generated at each stage in your supply chain. If you look at the procurement, your manufacturer, distributor, huge amount of data is generated. Why? Because of these thousands of supplier distributors involved in your supply chain. The total amount of data created, captured, copied and consumed globally is forecast to increase rapidly, reaching 149 zettabytes in 2024. And if you look at the zettabyte calculation, 1 zettabyte equal to 1 terabytes, and 1 terabyte equal to how much GB? 1 terabyte equal to 1000. Yeah. So over the next 5 years up to 2028, global data creation is projected to grow to more than 394 4 zettabytes. In 2020, the amount of data created and replicated reached a new high. So what is the importance of this data, guys? Why I am showing you? Digital supply chain, digital twin. But do you think that you can manage this huge amount of data with your normal technologies? No. You need some advanced technologies to manage this huge amount of data. Why do you need to manage this data? Why don't you leave as it is? What is the importance of? Sorry? Yeah, you get. Yeah, you can find hidden patterns, insights from that data, and on that basis you can target your customers. You can do some promotion activities, and your profit will go up because of that. Then e-commerce percentage, if you look at the, again we are talking about the digital supply chain, total retail sales. So in 2021 it was e-commerce out of total retail sales, it was 18.8, and in 2027 they are expecting it will go grow around 25 percentage quarter. Okay. Market value, if you look at global online retail sales, hit 5 trillion in 2021, expected to surpass 7 trillion by 2024. Regional trends, Latin America, Brazil and Argentina led as the fastest growing e-commerce market. So what is the need for supply chain digitalization? What is the need for supply chain digitalization? Increased complexity, first one. We have got thousands of supplier distributors, and huge amount of data is generated from each components in your supply chain. Okay, so managing this data, managing these supplier distributors is very difficult in your traditional supply chain. That's why you need to automate, you need to enhance your operations, you need to make in a digital format so that you can easily manage that one. Okay, that's one. Demand for speed and agility. Nowadays customers, they want quick delivery, fastest delivery they want. If you order today, you want the products tomorrow, 1 day delivery or something like that. Agility as well. Then rising volatility and risks. We talked about the Red Sea crisis, Suez Canal blockage. Okay, so that's the another reason. If suppose your ship started from Asia and it is following the Red Sea crisis, it's supposed to follow. It goes suppose in the middle, and suddenly something happened there. Now what? You want to reroute your ship to the another route. That's why rising volatility and risk, because of this uncertain nature, these unexpected events are happening regularly, and you need some artificial intelligence, IoT devices, some digital tools to enhance the visibility in your supply chain, so that if something happens, you can take some actions to manage that unexpected events. Data driven decision making, again AI, IoT you can use to make the data driven decision makings, like you can track the real time inventory in your warehouse. Nowadays AI powered tools, they can automatically track the the real time inventory. They place the order to the supplier how much they want based on the available inventory. They do the forecastings, everything is there. Cost and efficiency pressures, again if you go with the IoT, this AI and some advanced digital techniques, it reduces the manual operations, it automates the things, and that will help you to reduce your cost, and it will help to improve your efficiency. Sustainability and compliance. Sustainability and compliance means, again digital tools help to track your emissions, scope 1, 2, 3 kind of emissions, how much emission you are making, because nowadays government, customers, everybody want to see the sustainability performance of your organization. So all these tools, they track your sustainability, how much emission you are making, producing, and it will tell you the some ways to reduce the emission as well. So digitization, digitalization and digital transformation, differences between we already discussed, but again I will explain. Digitization is the process of changing from analog to digital format. analog, whatever the physical documents you are keeping. Suppose in warehouse you are keeping the record of how much product is there, inventory stock is there, how much it is coming in your warehouse, how much it is going outside, you are keeping the track. Or purchase order, suppose you are keeping the record of purchase order. That's digitization, means you are scanning those purchase orders, you are scanning the paper record, and you are keeping the digital copy of those the paper records. That's your digitization. Digital enablement, digitization of data. It is a creation of digital artifacts through the technical processes of conversion, representation, and enhancement. As I said, you keep this, you scan those paper copies, you keep in your digital database. That's your digitization. Then what's next? Digitalization. Here we use the digital tools for process optimization or process enhancement. Okay, suppose in digitization, what you do, you scan those copies, you keep into the record. But instead of that, suppose if you use the QR code and RFID systems, you don't need to scan those one. It will automatically keep the records of all those inventory into your database. Okay, so it is the adoption of digital technologies. What kind of digital technologies? RFID, QR codes, and data to streamline and enhance the institutional processes, digitalization of process. Here digitalization means we are making we are focusing on one whole process. Okay, what is the procurement, or you are talking about the manufacturing, distribution. We are targeting that one specific process and we are trying to make it digitalized. The transformation of the socio-economic environment through processes of digital artifact adoption, application, and utilization. Then what is digital transformation? It is the last stage, okay, in that journey. So here we use the new digital technologies, social media, mobile analytics, or embedded devices. We use the data and innovation to enable the major business improvements, such as enhancing customer experience, streamlining operations, and creating new business model. Digital transformation, it doesn't mean that you convert all the processes into the digital format. No, in addition to that, you need to focus on your new market, like new business model. You need to improve the customer experiences. For example, if you take the warehouse management, digitization means you are scanning the paper copies. Then digitalization means you are using the digital tools, RFID and QR code. What about digital transformation? What about digital transformation? You are using the AI powered some tools to capture the real time inventory. You are using AI tools to forecast the demand, and then you are using the AI powered some another predictive analytics to optimize the transportation route and all those things. So that's your digital transformation. Or suppose you are offering in the traditional supply chain as a product. Okay, you can focus on the service or any other market, so you can focus on some new business models as well. So that's your digital transformation. So you can see some differences here. Digitization means conversion of analog to digital data. Data could be in different format. Adoption means you digitalization means we talk about the one specific process. We use some digital technologies. Digital transformation means creation of new business model. Okay, and then here you can see digitization again, changing from analog to physical, organized information. Digitalization means automate process, streamline process, and digital transformation means transform the whole your business. Digital supply chain. What is digital supply chain? It is a fully integrated and interconnected system that uses some advanced digital technologies to transform and optimize the entire supply chain from supplier end to the customer end. Okay, so it includes your digitalization. So first part, digitalization. Okay, focusing on the individual process in your supply chain. You use the advanced technology to capture that data to optimize and enhance the operations and the supply chain management. So it has the capability of making widespread information available. All the information available at each stage. With the help of digital supply chain, you can very easily pass to the other members. Why? Because you are using digital technologies, RFID sensor, blockchain, IoT devices. With the help of this one, you can very easily transfer that information. Superior collaboration and communication across digital platforms. Digitization can improve supply chains by making services more valuable, accessible, and affordable. Because you are using these digital technologies, the manual processes will be eliminated. Then you can streamline your processes. The cost will go down. That's why valuable. Accessible means you don't need to send the hard copies or anything. Everything is digital. You can very easily share that information to everybody, and they can take some data driven decisions based on that available information. Affordable as well, as I said, because of this digitization your cost will go down, and it will be affordable to everybody. So organizations should think of supply chain as a digital networks. So when organizations they think about supply chain, they think as a digital networks that includes product, processes, products, people, information, and money. So we talked about three information flow: material flow, information flow, money flow. But here is the another important one: people flow as well, allowing them to flow smoothly across the business. Because employees are very important in your supply chain, because logistics and supply chain is a labor intensive industry. If you take manufacturing, distributors, without labor you can't do anything. So that's why you need to make sure that the peoples are also moving or working smoothly in your supply chain. So this is the one digital transformation framework. If you want to implement the digital transformation in your organization, how you can implement that digital transformation network? First thing, you need to start with the strategy. You need to have a digital transformation strategy, okay, and that strategy should align the objective of your organization or your company. And then you need the sufficient resources for that digital strategy. You need to properly document that strategy, communicate with all the members involved in your supply chain. And then after that, at organizational level, what you can do, you can you can do the partnership with the other companies, other supply chains. Cross functional collaboration is also important there, other departments. Then culture is means freedom to experiment, fail forward cultures. Because you are now moving to the digital transformation, so sometimes the employees or the workers, they experience some kind of job security issues. So you need to create that culture there, that we are just moving our business into the another format. So you need to upgrade your skills. Your job will not be at the risk, but you need to upgrade your skill. You need to improve your skills so that you can take some insights from this huge amount of data that we are getting. So that freedom to experiment, strong commitment from management. Again, digital transformation, it's not the only one process, guys. We are talking about from supplier end to the customer end, okay, every stage involved in. So strong commitment from management is very important there. Technology, advanced technology we need to use. Customer is also there, and we get the insights from the customer shopping habits and all those things. And then people, education and development and new skill. As I said, workers, employees, they they need to collaborate with some academic institutions to upgrade, to improve their skill set. And flexible working arrangements as well, sometimes we need to focus. Those are the things you need to consider when we are implementing the digital transformation. So do you know the five industrial revolutions, guys? When did first happen? Around 1718. What was the innovation there? Steam engine. Steam engine, okay. And because of that, this mechanization started. Introduction of steam powered industrial production. James Watt steam engine, leading to the rise of textile, iron, and coal mining industries, okay. Earlier manual processes were there, but because of this steam engine, then mechanization started. What is the second one? Electrification. Electricity, mass customization, mass production and assembly lines. Henry Ford's assembly lines for car production. So mass production started using electricity and assembly lines, creation of new jobs, improvement in standard of living. Third one, automation. Computers, robotics, digitizations. Automated production due to the rise of electronics, leading to an increase in productivity and efficiency. Fourth one, digitization. Industry 4.0, 2011. use of cyber physical systems to connect the devices for further automation, CPS, cyber physical systems, and data collection. And what is the fifth one? Cognitive personalizations. Okay, industry 5.0, human machine collaborations. In industry 4.0 we were talking about machine to machine collaboration. Now in industry 5.0 we are talking about human to machine collaborations. Then another thing like sustainability is there, resilience is there, and the main component is the people, human centric, customer centric. Industry 4.0, some of the technologies. Basically this is a umbrella term, guys, and in this umbrella term you have so many digital technologies are here. You can see cyber physical system, blockchain, internet of things, internet of services, robotics, big data, cloud manufacturing, augmented reality, and so on. So we will see a couple of examples here. Again, some technologies for the physical and digital interface technologies. From physical devices to the digital devices, you can use the cyber physical system, internet of things, IoT devices, augmented and virtual reality. Network technologies means cloud computing. If you want to store some data on the cloud and you want to use the cloud facilities to analyze that data to find out some insights, you can use the cloud computing. Cyber security, blockchain technology, transparent and secure transactions, data processing technologies like digital twins, artificial intelligence, big data analytics, so on. AI and machine learning. What is it? Machine learning. Is machine learning part of AI or AI is part of machine learning? What is it? Okay. What does it do? Yeah, that's correct. So basically, AI and machine learning, they enable machines and systems to acquire the knowledge based on the historical data. They learn from that historical data. They try to do the reasoning as well and make informed decisions. Application in predictive maintenance. Predictive maintenance, suppose nowadays if you visit the smart factory, in the machines, on that machine you see the sensors, IoT devices. What is the purpose of those IoT devices? It will basically see the life left into that machines, how much life left into that machines, and when do you need the predictive maintenance, when do you need to do the next maintenance. It will basically track the whole performance of that machines, and it will tell you before the breakdown that machine needs the maintenance, or how much life left into that machines. Predictive maintenance, quality control, supply chain optimization. IoT, again, connects and exchange data between physical devices, sensors, and systems. Amazon's Alexa, smartwatch, best example. It captures the data from your the machine, people, things, and then it provides some insights based on whatever the data it captured from the people and things. So that's your IoT devices. Real time monitoring, control, optimization of manufacturing process. Robotics and automation, to perform tasks with the precision, efficiency, and flexibility. So application in assembly, material handling, inspection, and collaborative human robot environments. Okay. Okay. So very interesting video, guys. Ocado, this is one online grocery retailer in the UK, and they have got this a smart platform warehouse in their the CFC, customer fulfillment center, and these are the small robots, and they manage the customers orders. When they receive the customer order, this is the online grocery, they don't have any physical stores. Okay, so you can play that video, and because we don't have the time at the moment. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it could happen. So it could happen if suppose whatever these IoT devices, all those things, these are based on the input data. If the input data, and again that's why you are talking about human intelligence and artificial intelligence. So now all these the forecasting tools and all those things they are doing. If you go to the if you go to the industry, and if you talk to the managers who are doing this forecasting with the AI tools and all those things, what they do basically, they don't follow these AI tools and all those things blindly. What they do, they see the whatever the recommendation from those AI tools and they make some judgments based on their own experience. So it's not totally dependent on this. Basically, it's totally depends on the input data. If your data is not good, your output, you cannot then blame that AI tool. Why? There is a problem with your data. So what you are saying that if suppose there is a suppose information is not securely transferred to that IoT devices or whatever devices, obviously that device will take the decision based on the available information. So there may be problem with your outcome or results. Okay. So this you can play the video and then you can see how this warehouse is using robots and all those things. Okay, so and then additive manufacturing, 3D manufacturing, somebody was talking about additive manufacturing. So here we create the customized products by adding materials by layer. So application, rapid prototyping, on-demand manufacturing. Smart additive manufacturing. What is smart additive? It is the addition of AI and computer vision with the 3D printing. Okay, so in order to improve the designs and better visuals. So 5D printing is there, augmented reality and virtual reality. You might see the some cameras there. They provide immersive and interactive experiences, enhancing visualization, training, and remote collaboration in Industry 5.0. AR, VR are very important in Industry 5.0. If you want to provide some training or if you want to give some simulation kind of experience, you can use these technologies. Big data technologies. Big data. So big data. What comes into your mind, guys, when you say big data? Huge volume. Yeah, that's the only. Yeah, basically when we say big data means only huge volume, but there are other things as well. It's called 5As. Okay. So in addition, it refers to the strategy of analyzing large volumes of data. I have already discussed some how much data is generated each day in each operations in supply chains. In order to manage that data, process data, you need the advanced technologies. Okay. So the traditional mining and the handling techniques are not sufficient to get the insights and meaningful ideas from that underlying data. That's why we see these big data analytics. So volume is the one thing, magnitude, huge amount of data, the massive amount of data is generated requiring advanced storage and processing. Then variety. So data, huge amount of is there, but data comes in the different format, semi-structured data, structured data, unstructured data. That is the another problem. That's why variety, because we have diverse sources, IoT there, sensors, social media, mobile devices are there. Third one is velocity, the speed at which data is created, processed and delivered, real time. Huge amount of it data is created. If you miss something, there is no value to analyze that data. Veracity, ensuring data quality accuracy, as Saurav was saying, lack of data is there, and if you are analyzing that data, obviously your output will not be good. So that veracity, trustworthiness, accuracy is very important. Value, what insight do you get from that data? If data is not good, and if you know that there is no value you are getting from that data, there is no use of doing all these big data analytics and all those things. Blockchain. Blockchain, we have got separate one lecture for blockchain. We are going to play very interesting, but just in a short, this is a distributed database that maintains completely distributed and decentralized nature. This is not a centralized. If you look at the bank, it is centralized. Here distributed, decentralized, everybody involved in that network, they can see what transaction are happening and they have the power to approve that transaction. If majority people approve the transaction, then only the transaction is get updated into the record, otherwise it will not update it. That's called blockchain. Okay, and we are going to discuss about the IBM's blockchain as well, very famous case study. Cloud, where you keep the data and then we access the data from the cloud computing provider. Then technologies that combines networking, computing, management systems. Cyber physical system, smart system that connect the physical and virtual worlds. Seamless interaction between software and hardware. Cyber security, huge amount of data is created, and if you don't properly manage that data, we may experience the cyber attacks. So that's why cyber security. Unmanned aerial vehicles means drone without a human pilot on board and commonly known as drone. I don't know whether you know or not. in US already driverless cars are they are running on the roads. Okay, so imagine how much IoT devices, sensors they are using to run that driverless cars on a road. Okay, and it's not like 1, 2, or around 7,000 or 8, 10,000 cars they are they are running on the San Francisco and some other states. Okay, so those kind of advanced technologies. Industrial Internet of Things. Internet of Things means already IoT devices to capture the data and then analyze that data and provide some insights. So Industrial Internet of Things means we use these various sets of hardware pieces together, but to help enhance manufacturing and industrial processes. That is industrial. Simulation means a replica of your exact situation, and you can play with that the model. Predictive maintenance, as we talked about, all these IoT devices we use to find out the how much life left into that machine to avoid the the sudden breakdown. Hyper customization, this is another technologies in industry 5.0. Digital twin is again solution for better visualization and understanding of supply chains. So difference between digital twin and simulation: digital twin real time data, simulation it doesn't need the real time. Internet of everything. So Internet of Things is there, industrial Internet of Things there, Internet of everything. Everything is connected to the internet. Smart house, smart washing machine is there, smart your dishwasher is there, lights are there. You just talk to your smartwatch, and then you, or Alexa, you can say Alexa turn off the lights, turn on the TV and all those things. So Internet of everything. So the data is generated from the people and things, and then you can use these advanced technologies to find out the insights. So impact of industry 4.0 on supply chain processes. What are the benefits or the the applications? Product development and production. Smart demand analysis. You can detect patterns and fluctuations from that historical demand. Process optimization. You can identify machinery constraints, bottlenecks. Real-time simulation enhances operational visualization. Mass customization, you can do it. Mass production, mass customizations, another benefit of this industry 4.0. Self-monitoring and predictive maintenance because of the IoT devices. Faster innovation, time to market. Fulfillment, procurement, logistics point of view. Real-time traceability. You didn't need to call your supplier, and you don't need to ask where is my the delivery. You can, because of GPS and all those tracking devices, you can find out where is your the delivery, how much time does it take. Optimize freight and transport, navigation, reduce congestion. Predictive analytics minimizes delays and disruption. If there is a one problem at one route, it can take the another route. Sustainable operations. Inventory management, again smart tracking and positioning. So all these QR code, barcodes, it will do the real time tracking of how much inventory is available in your store, how much you want to order. Automated stock management, predictive maintenance, operational risk management, AI driven decision making. Retailing, you can see customer recognition, personalized shopping experience through smart shelves. AI powered demand forecasting optimizes restocking, sales predictions, real time monitoring, and so on. These are the some of the references. I took 5 minutes more. Okay, so I will share the Saurabh, I think we are sharing the slides and video recordings, am I right? Okay, so I hope you had enjoyed this session, guys. If you have any doubts, any questions, I am here to discuss those doubt questions. Otherwise, we are going to share the video recordings, slides, everything. The papers are already there. And Saurabh, you were saying that there are some queries in the online. No queries. Okay, that's it. Any doubts, any questions? Mentimeter. Okay, okay, that's fine. Anything else? No. How was it? Was it too fast? I know last couple of slides I but yeah, feel free to go through the slides, and if you have any doubts, any questions, if you couldn't get anything, we will discuss more detail. Yeah, go on. I'm coming back to the same. Suppose you have implemented all these digital technologies, everything in your supply chain, and your supplier, your members, they are not updating that their data, they are not using those devices properly. What's the use of that? If you look at we are going to consider that case study as well. It's Boeing 787. Boeing 787 Dreamliner aircraft. It is the one of the revolutionary aircraft in the aviation industry. Okay, why? Because of the its unconventional supply chain involved and the nature of that aircraft. It is very famous and classic case study of. So what they did basically, they moved from the traditional supply chain of 1,000 suppliers, 1,000 tier 1 suppliers. They went to the only 50 suppliers. And they said that, you supply us the whole subsection. You don't supply us the parts and components. You make the sub-assemblies of subsections of the aircraft. You do those subsections and we will do the assembly. So this was the unconventional supply chain, and what they did, they used some advanced digital tools so that the supplier will give them the accurate information and they can manage the operations properly. One of the supplier, they hired another technology provider to update their information, and they were not updating the information into the platform where Boeing has given. So at the end, what happened? Boeing couldn't get the accurate information from what's happening at the supplier level, and that's why Boeing couldn't deliver the aircraft on time to the airport. So basically, what I'm trying to say that all the members, when